speaking of bridging science and spirituality, so I just got this watch yesterday. So I'm looking at my heart rate right now. It's down to 59 after watching this.
Wow. Namaste, Johnny. Namaste to our friends around the world and obviously in India to another Saturday Sadhana.
Sadhana.
Yes.
Thank you for being with us.
We are back with another Nerd Fest amongst... No, I do. Yes. We had some comments that corrected you, Johnny. You said, the nerds don't get girls, and yet we are learning from clearly a fantastic female.
Yes, obviously, I said it somewhat in jest. In my own opinion, I love the nerds. I am nerd. You are
Same.
A nerd. To me, the nerds make the world go round. So,
no kidding.
Yes. And there's definitely a good number of females that like that type of personality.
Unfortunately, I didn't find my wife until I was in my 30s, so it's more of a delayed response.
Right.
But anyway, we are happy to be back with Dr. Sangeeta Shankar, and this is chapter 2 called The Fundamentals. So we're building on the 22 Shrutis Simplified, and there's also a chapter 3. So we're going to do this week, and then we'll be back next week before we start moving in another direction. The last thing I want to mention up front is we have a lot of requests also for instrumental music. And although when we're learning, oftentimes there might not be like a vocal example, like she's a violinist, obviously. An amazing violinist, by the way. Yes. She plays like 3 notes. You're just like melt.
I mean, yeah.
Crazy.
That's the secret weapon.
But just letting you know, we do have a voice or vocal focused platform here, Throga Vocal Gym. So if you guys have songs that you'd like us to hear that have voice mixed in with certain instruments, things like that's more likely to be selected during our selection process because there's so many things coming in, just to give you guys a heads up. All right.
Yes.
Oh, Johnny.
Before we dig in, though,
I forgot to say who we were.
Johnny Cummings, that's Richard.
And now
my line. If you like what you see and hear, please hit the like and subscribe button, ring that bell so you always know what's going on with us.
There we go.
Here is the ancient knowledge of the Indian 22 Shrutis.
So much wisdom in her delivery.
We all know the basic 7 notes. C, D, E, F, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, written as the Roman 1, 2, 3, 4, and in India as Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Dha, Ni. We also know the varieties of the 12 notes. Shrutis are a further expansion of the 12 notes.
Just a little review here, which we need.
How do you know where they are? Do you mean to say that we just split existing 12 notes into 2 more equal parts? No. To understand this, we have to go through a bit of science and maths. Let's begin at the beginning of sound.
When any sound is produced, how does it travel? When a pebble is thrown in the water, small waves are created. The first one is the strongest one, and all others are weaker in succession. Just like that, when a sound is made, small waves are created in the air. The first one is the strongest one, and all others are weaker in succession. In the language of sound, these waves are called harmonics.
This is something I talk to my students about frequently as well as understanding. It's just air molecules being pushed around with that riddle of if a tree falls and no one's around, does it make any sound? The answer is no.
Right.
Because you need
the receptor to be able to... Yes.
It's just kind of cool. You need the ear and the brain to interpret that vibrational response, the air molecules, into sound as a whole. So it's a pretty fascinating concept overall. And then when you realize that you're just pushing air molecules, you start to kind of, for me anyway, I can start to kind of visualize what's taking place. So I love things like this.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, every sound has a main wave and accompanying waves. All together, we hear as one sound. The main wave, that's the lowest sounding wave, is heard as a musical tone. The rest of them give a timbre or a character to the sound by which we can identify the source, whether it's a violin, piano, drums, human voice, etc.
Great description.
It's measured by frequency. This is the number of waves produced in 1 second, as measured in hertz. Let's see the entire range of frequency, and it's measured in hertz.
I show this spectrograph to students all the time too. A little intense.
So did you see the entire range? This frequency at 1000 hertz sounds like this. This one is 5000 hertz.
I don't like
You can
that
see
one.
where our hearing is going, and
So now we have already understood that when
hear those so far.
I noticed that I'm half deaf and I'm cringing, but you who gigs every weekend, you're just like, hey, is there a sound? Completely unfazed.
I can hear it, but maybe some of the high end is not happening.
any sound is produced, it contains harmonics. Now let's see at what distance are the harmonics. If the biggest one is at 100 Hz, then the smaller ones would be at 200, 300, 400 and 500 Hz. This is what happens naturally. What are the notes at these distances of 100, 200, 300, 400 and 500 Hz in the musical octave? If we take the first harmonic to be the sa, then the rest of them are the upper shadja, higher pancham, still higher shadja and still higher gandhar. The first harmonic, shadja, first, say at 100 Hz. Then the second harmonic would be the upper shadja, upper sa in the second octave, which comes at 200 Hz.
Hope there'd be an example, yeah.
The third harmonic would be the higher pancham in the second octave, the fifth, which comes at 300 Hz. The fourth harmonic would be still higher shadja in the third octave, which comes at 400 Hz.
Mm-hmm.
And the fifth harmonic would be a still higher gandhar in the third octave again,
The third, yeah.
which comes at 500 Hz. Beyond the fifth harmonic, frequencies get feeble and are not heard. If we strike an open sound, then the harmonics are sa, tarsa, tarpa, atitarsa, and atitarga. And in this, we've got the positions of 3 notes, sa, ga, and pa. As we can see here, when the frequency, that's hertz, doubles, the pitch is an octave higher. If we are to bring the position of ga and
If I can just add to this real briefly, because I don't know how deep she's going to go into things, so hopefully it's not too redundant. But for me, it's always helpful to kind of to see a little bit. So if I'm playing, what was the root note she was giving an example of?
For this one, it was the E, I think.
Okay. So if we're here, the octave is the next E up. So this would be in a harmonic, and then this doubles in frequency each time. So if this was, what is this? This is 160 or something. Like I don't know how many cycles per second it is. Yeah. But let's for simplicity, let's just call it 150. Can you look up what is E? What is this? E3 hertz. So if this was 150, then we go to this number would be 300 cycles per second. This would be 600 cycles per second, 1200. And the harmonics that she's obviously pointing out here is like the main harmonics that's there. But what distinguishes a harmonium from a piano, from a guitar, from Johnny's voice, from my voice, all of that's true. But then there's all these little tiny detailed overtones that are also enhanced, that goes beyond just the note. And that's where that timbre and the quality of sound helps us identify the different instruments. So I don't know if that's helpful or maybe more confusion, or maybe she's going to get to it, but that's what was crossing my mind as she's explaining these.
Yes.
What is the
164.81 hertz.
It's close on the 160.
Close, you're very close, yes.
All right.
and pa to octave 1, to the first octave, we have to divide pa by 2. because it is in the second octave. Therefore, 300 by 2 is 150.
Right.
Similarly, we have to divide Ga by 4 because it is in the third octave. So 500 divided by 4 equals 125. So bringing them in the same octave, in the first octave, the distance is Sharja at 100, Gandhar at 125, and Pancham at 150.
Okay.
Therefore, the positions of Sa, Ga, and Pa provided by nature is in the proportion of 100 is to 125 is to 150.
Touched upon that in the last video.
Therefore,
Okay.
all musical notes with these ratios or proportions in between sound pleasant. The Indian 22 Shruti system is structured on the basis of the above natural harmonics. Now let's look at the positions of the 12 notes as we hear them on pianos or keyboards today. They are tuned to the equitempered scale, which basically divides the entire octave into equal sections of 100 cents.
Okay.
Cents are commonly used in most music softwares today to tune the notes. Sa at 0, Komal Re at 100, Shuddha Re at 200, Komal Ga at 300, Shuddha Ga at 400, and so on. This was a convenient method that was employed sometime.
That's like going from this is 100 cents to this note, another 100 cents to this note. So that's what we're seeing on the screen. So from 0 to 1200, relative to the one you're starting on, because you could start on any note to accomplish that.
Ago, and is widely used even now to tune pianos. Let's compare the Ga and Pa positions in both the tunings. In the equitempered scale, Ga is at 400 cents, but the proportion of Sa to Ga becomes 100 is to 126. Therefore, it does not sound perfect.
Right?
Right.
That's what we talked about.
It's that third, that wobble.
When the proportion of Sa to Ga
just
is
hear it now.
100 is to 125, according to natural harmonics, it sounds perfect. Similarly, in the equitempered scale, Pa is at 700 cents. But the proportion of Sa to Pa is 100 is to 149.83. Therefore, it does not sound perfect. When the proportion of Sa to Pa is 100 is to 150, according to natural harmonics, it sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Therefore,
So
on the scale
subtle,
of
but it's
cents,
there.
perfect
Yeah.
Ga is 14 cents lower, and perfect Pa is 2 cents higher than its place given.
The crazy.
And that's interesting because
Yeah.
because in Western terminology, that's called a perfect fifth. Perfect fifth, and it's not perfect.
It's not. It's an imperfect fifth. But when you're singing, there's a forgiveness of sense that we hear in all genres. So it's not specific to Western singers versus singing with an Eastern or Indian tuning or whatever. There's a you've talked about this, and like if you're fixing someone's voice in the studio, right? If you have to address
Pitch correcting,
an issue,
yes, yeah.
pitch correcting. You as a producer never put it right on the line because you know better that auto-tuned sound, it just doesn't work. It doesn't
For a couple
feel
different
right.
reasons, yeah,
Yeah.
because it feels synthetic, but also it doesn't. You're not getting the potential of feeling that can come out of the note if it's just locked in to the center.
Right.
As we're finding out, just being locked into the center doesn't make it actually auditorily the most pleasing. So
No.
sometimes you have to go sharp with the note, sometimes you have to go flat. And the last video we saw was a great example of just the completely different moods that are created when you take the same essential pitch and then you can go a little flat with it and it gives a mood, and then a little sharper than it gives a completely different feeling. So it's crazy because not when I'm correcting pitch and I'm going sharp or flat, it's not necessarily a hearing thing. It's more of a feeling that I get.
Vibrational thing.
Yeah, it's a vibrational thing. So when she's talking about vibration and you saying pushing molecules, that's sort of I see when I talk about like in-ears, like we're wearing right now. So we get information that's coming in,
right?
And a lot of singers, when they're in the studio, they would take one of these out. They usually have bigger headphones, but they'll take one out so they can hear the room because there's more of an accurate sense of what the pitch is, because you're just getting the ones and twos in here, but out here you're getting the actual vibrational feeling and resonance
Yes.
of what's happening. So
really well put. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I love this. I'm so glad you're watching this with us, by the way. We have so many comments supporting that you're enjoying this journey. And yeah, some comments are just like, you'll get more views if you react to so-and-so. We're like, yeah, we know. And we will. During the week, we'll react to some other artists, but we're loving this. It's not for everyone. That's okay.
Yeah. And actually, while we're on that subject, I know we're talking a lot here, but I would like to acknowledge some people that have bought coffees outside of our
because we're not live during the Saturday Sadhana, so we just want to acknowledge the people that have been supporting the channel. We're very grateful to you.
Yes. So real quick, Ram bought 3 coffees. They said, continue what you are doing. It is wonderful. Thank you so much. Parul bought 20 coffees. Amazing. The work you are doing is Parul, you rule. The work
Thank you
are doing is absolutely incredible. Thank you. Rajesh, I'm an Indian and I love, bought 3 coffees. I'm an Indian and I love music, and the sounds of Hindustani and Carnatic music are familiar to me, but I never knew a single thing about either until I started watching your videos. Thank you for tuning in with us. Suresh bought 3 coffees. Said, excellent video, learned so much. Bala bought 1 coffee, learning it's fun with you guys. Swarna, 1 coffee, keep up the awesome work. Thank you. Bahima bought 5 coffees. Kavitha bought 2 coffees. Absolutely love and share the awe you all have for the various genres and presentation of Indian music. It is a total appreciation on our end.
Yes, it is.
For that. Suresh bought 2. I don't know if that's the same Suresh. Hashri bought 5 coffees. Love you guys. You are amazing. Carnatic music is super complex. I probably know 5% of it, 0.5% of it. And for some folks to dismiss you both as appalling, we agree.
Thank you.
No, it's we get it. It's like everybody has their opinion, and we are new to this, so I'm sure that some people are rolling eyes, but the ones that are enjoying the journey with us, we really appreciate your kindness and patience. Thank you both for doing everything you can with such humility, humor, and talent. Thank you. Vazudev bought 5 coffees. Yes, we're almost there. A lot of supporters here, which we really appreciate.
This, by the way, all these coffees listing off has been from like the past 5 or 6 videos combined. We realized, oh my goodness, we're not thanking them like here. We want to do that. So moving forward, we'll do it each week, so we don't have such a list. Though we are grateful to have a list.
Yes, absolutely. So Vazudev bought 5. I see a lot of people reacting to get clicks, but you guys genuinely love Indian music and try to understand it. Thank you. And last one, Rajat bought 20 coffees again. Thank you so much for that.
Wow.
I would very highly recommend Raga Jag by Jasraj Sharazia and Zakir Hussain performing at India Gate. Link below. It's not great to react to because there's no video and it's a bit long, but for yourself, if you wanted to start about 49 minutes in, I believe you will see the epitome of playfully virtuosity looks like in Hindustani music. So
yes. So first of all,
but thank you.
Thank you for that. And second of all, I actually saw that. I clicked on it and I enjoyed listening to it while I was working the other day. It's a flautist and a vocalist, and it's like they're having this conversation between. It was really cool to kind of I had it on in the background. So thank you for sending that link. It's not right for the channel per se, but I enjoyed it. Thank you for sharing that very much.
Yes, thank you.
All right, back to the program. All right, back it up a few seconds here.
And perfect pa is 2 cents higher than its place given in the equitempered tuning. The major chord became imperfect. What should have sounded like this sounded like this.
All pianos in the world today
are
tuned to the equitempered scale.
The EQ tuning, therefore, is not suitable to Indian classical music. That is why the 22 Shruti tuning system is the base for Indian classical music.
I need to print this
Now
out.
we must understand that the purpose of all art forms in India is to aid the human to evolve spiritually and for the soul to be one with the universe, be in a permanent feel good state. Music in India has the same purpose, to create a feel good state. Since music in India is based on the principle of consonance, the notes used in a raga have to be in perfect consonance with each other. There's a term called raga in Indian music. Raga is a combination of different notes which is expanded into a performance. Just like we have 12 basic colors to make a painting, we have 12 basic notes to make a raga.
Cool way to
So
put it.
just like different colors make different paintings, different notes make different ragas, which sound different from each other. The scale of a raga is made up of 5, 6 or 7 notes, ascending and descending. And we can have the following possibilities. Ascending 5, descending 5, 5, 6, 5, 7. 6 ascending, 5 descending,
Oh,
6,
I see what
6,
they're doing.
6, 7. And 7 ascending, 5 descending, 7 ascending, 6 descending, and
Right.
7 and 7. I'll just show it to you. Here's
Breaking
an
out the
example
violin.
of 5 notes ascending and 5 notes descending.
It's a pentatonic
This is
scale.
Rag
Right.
Bhupali. Sounds different than this is Malcolm's. Let's choose a raga in which we go up 6 notes and come back 7. Rag Todi.
I
So
get hair
each of
standing
them
on my
sound very different from each other. If we calculate the permutations and combinations of all these will lead to many, many ragas. But not all of them would be pleasing to the ear. So about 300 ragas are popularly performed by most musicians, which are consonant. Now the notes are decided. But raga is not only a mere scale. There are certain phrases created from those notes which form the structure of a raga. These key phrases give a personality to the raga. Like in cases of certain ragas with the same notes, it is the phrasing that differentiates them. For instance, the Creator has made all of us similar. Each of us have 2 eyes, 1 nose, 2 ears, 1 mouth, 2 hands, 2 legs, etc. We're all the same. But certain features are different. Someone has blue eyes, a big nose, a huge forehead, long fingers. And that's what makes us different.
She calling me out? I'm just kidding.
That's what gives us our identity and individuality. Just like that, all ragas have selected notes which form the scale and defined phrases which give the raga its identity. Here are a couple of examples. So let's take up a raga called Rag Bhageshri. These are the notes. And the phrasings would
Just that is a melody. I mean, without any variations of that is something that that's a melody I would want to hear in a song. Just
Right. Well,
Just
the fact
that.
that the fact that those ragas are different, ascending and descending. Again, I've said it so many times. It opens up so many more possibilities
right.
of things you can do with that, and the way that it weaves in and out of sort of the scale that becomes, at least to my ears, the one that's set up. It creates a certain expectation of what you want to hear on the way down, but the fact that it changes it up, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
It just keeps you on your toes in the best possible way.
We talked about the Western scale being an infinite combination of things with just 12 notes. This is infinite times infinite in terms of
yeah.
possibilities.
Well, yeah, I'm loving the sort of the mathematical and scientific background to some of these things. in a similar way that I like, when you talk about spirituality, which kind of is transcendent of everything, but also when you can bridge sort of a gap between the scientific and quantum physics, sort of
Mm-hmm.
finding some common ground with more esoteric and transcendent topics. It's very fascinating to me,
Gives it more weight emotionally.
yeah, but I just love how thorough it is. It's like you're checking all avenues with this stuff, and musically speaking, it just gives more gravity to this art form, which is so obviously based on feelings that it conjures, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is the whole aim of it. It's trying to elicit a certain vibration in the body, which hopefully leads to a transcendent state.
Right.
But to hear the science behind it and how it gets to it, it's just, man, this music has been well thought out over the thousands and thousands
Thousands.
and thousands of years. So yeah, we're in good hands. They've worked out all the kinks, as they say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Really well put.
B.
Oh, let me back into
And
that. Sorry.
and the phrasings would be.
Oh, just beautiful. Just never knew a violin could
And
do that.
Can I retract my earlier statement of saying that we're going to keep just voice? With the exception of hearing her do a violin solo. Is it okay if I ask for that?
Yeah. Yes. Please do.
The voice is also a fretless, keyless instrument like the violin. That's why it's such a good instrument for that relation. So maybe one exception. I get tongue-tied when she plays. Wow.
It's magical.
It really is.
And this is, yeah, we're not exaggerating here. We're not just we're I think I can speak for both of us. We are genuinely just in awe of this, and I know this is just the simple fundamentals for this, but it's great.
I don't know what it is about her playing.
And Yaman, Rag Yaman. Sounds very different. The notes are. And the phrases, the key phrases. Now
Real
let's
quick,
relate
Richard.
this to concepts.
Just I know we're talking a lot in this. I'm sorry for those of you. You can skip ahead if you'd like, but we have a lot to say. Okay, so speaking of bridging science and spirituality, so I just got this watch yesterday. Okay, and this is
It's a
helps to. It's a
metric thing or
biometric.
something,
Yeah, so it help you know your heart rate, know your oxygen level, some health things. So I'm looking at my heart rate right now as we're listening to this, and as I was getting ready this morning, it was probably like mid 80s,
Right.
84, 85 beats per minute. It's down to 59 after watching this.
Wow.
Yeah, telling you, it's as they
I mean,
know,
I'm not
this is no
surprised
surprise to
that
our Indian
that's-
audience, but it's a visceral experience. Yes.
That's cool.
And then as I'm talking, it goes up. But then once I'm listening, so I'm just going to shut up and let my heart rate just relax. Okay.
Amazing.
Now let's relate this to consonants. Now there's one more rule in Indian classical music. The notes of a raga, in accordance to the defined phrases, have to be in perfect consonant relationship with each other. For instance, Rag Yaman has the following notes. Now, when we play the same thing on an equal tempered tuned keyboard, look as to how it's simply impossible to bring the perfect consonance in the EQ tuning.
My heart rate is spiking.
Danger, danger, something's wrong.
Rewind and go back to the other one.
It's interesting. I don't pick it out when it's just what I would say the first and the third. It's not until the fifth is added that all of a sudden it's like, no, this is wrong.
It's a wobble, yeah.
I don't hear it just against the root note of the chord. I don't know if you do or not, but I'm not able to pick that up right away.
It's not overt, but it's obviously in comparison to the, what's the ratio? The 125?
125, 150, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to back, it's more obvious, obviously, yeah.
Yeah. No, I tend to notice it more with a guitar, because guitars are just sort of temperamental anyway, tuning-wise, so that third, it always, you play a D chord, and this is probably not in tune, but that top one, that's a major third.
It's kind of like bites forward.
And the guitar can be perfectly intonated, and that always just stands out, and it drives producers and engineers crazy, because they're like, did you tune your guitar? It's like, yes, it's perfectly in tune, yeah.
Here is where comes in the use of Shrutis. The Shruti points are in perfect consonance.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around this
and
map.
in perfect consonant relationship with each other. To sum it up, we have the basic 7 notes, which expand into 12 notes, which are further expanded into 22 Shrutis. When choosing notes or swaras or tones for any raga, a further detail of Shruti or microtones is also chosen. These would be in perfect relationship according to the phrasings of the raga. When a raga is performed, sung or played in perfect Shruti pitching or tuning, the effects of such music on the mind, body and soul are astounding. It sends us into a state of bliss. A heavenly feeling encompasses and gives the performer and the audience an out-of-this-world experience. Feels too good.
He's not lying.
Thank you again to Dr. Sangeeta Shankar.
Yeah, she's great. She's just got a nice balance of authoritative but kindness at the same time.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's that
very
almost
sure
a motherly wisdom kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah. I like it.
What a musician. Wow. I just...
mean,
wow.
I was a Beatles fan growing up, and I was always intrigued by George Harrison's foray into Indian music, because he definitely was super drawn into that, and felt like he was, in another life he had heard that music before, and it was familiar to him. And as I'm diving deeper into this, I get it. It's intoxicating. It's addicting.
So I would love to hear what all of you think in the comments below. Maybe if there's something that you learned during today's segment. Many of you are learning along with us, so share. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, and in the meantime, also check out our Indian playlists. We have a growing collection of very fascinating videos, so make sure to check those out.
See you in the next video.